Today, we're going to continue with our February setup. I'm going to show you how I've been creating my weekly pages. So stick with me. Well, hi, I'm Crystal from A Crystal Clear Life, where we focus on planning, organizing, and living a more simplified life. Today, I want to continue in this series that I've been doing for the month of February, where I take you through and show you how I've been setting up or creating each of the pages that I use throughout the month. I've had a lot of requests for people asking, how exactly do you create those pages? So today I wanted to show you how I set up my weekly page. Now, in an earlier video, I did show you how I set up my February dashboard. Here's a quick peek at what my February dashboard looked like. If you'd like to see the video on that, I will link it up above. And today we're going to be moving from the monthly view into my weekly view. This is an overview of the weeks that I have set up for the month of February. And as you can see here, there are lots and lots of different areas for me to record things. But like I always said, the first thing that you need to do is come up with a list of things that you actually need to be tracking or planning on your pages. So while this may be my finished product, this is not where I started. This is where I started. My weekly page criteria, the requirements, the things I needed on my weekly page, and I did that in list view, and then I started building my page. So that's what I want to show you today. So let's take a look at the weekly criteria just really quickly. One of the things that I wanted to do is I have things from my monthly planner page that I need to carry over to my weekly page. That would be any weekly appointments that I have, birthdays, anniversaries, any bills that are due for that particular week, goals and actions that could go on my top 3 focus for the week. Also, in addition to that, I need to add some things to my weekly page. I need to add links to my important pages like my cleaning pages or my Google Calendar. I like to have a weekly meal plan for dinner so that when I look at my weekly plan, I know exactly what is coming up and what I need to do to prep for dinner each day. I like to have a section for the week ahead so that I know if there's something coming up that I might need to be planning for. I have that kind of on the top of my mind. For example, if there's a birthday, I need to make sure that I get the birthday card the week before. You know how that goes. Also, any weekly to-do things that are specific for the week or any routines that I do on a specific routine basis. Any communications that I might have to do for the week, and anything that I need to buy or errands that I need to run. Any things that I need to do for Crystal Clear Life, filming, editing, those kinds of things. I like to track those things on my weekly page. And my Instagram and Facebook posts that I put up, and my weekly wins and gratitude. So you can see I kind of like to have a big overall picture of everything that's going on in my life on one page. And that's really what my weekly page does for me. So let's get started now that we have our criteria. Let's get started filling it out so we can go from this blank page to this finished page. Okay, so back down here to my blank page. If you have been following me for any time, you saw in my January setup that I did make my own notebook, and it is over here in the year-long notebook and icons page right here. This is something that I created using PowerPoint. Very simple. Again, I have a video on how I created this notebook and these silly little icons over here that I think are so cute. I'll link that up above if you want to check that out. But for now, I am simply going to make a copy of this notebook, and I am going to take it back to February, to the page that we were working on. And I'm going to put it right here next to the criteria by clicking paste. And again, because it is a graphic, I can move it around We know that it's a graphic in OneNote if it has these dot and dashed lines around it. If I wanted to resize it, I could just click and drag on the corner and resize it as needed, which you'll see me do with other graphics. But for now, this is a good size for me. I like the way that it fills my page. But the first thing that I need to do is I need to take this graphic and I need to set it as the background. So I'm going to come somewhere on the graphic. I'm going to right click. I'm going to scroll down to set picture as background. And when I click on that, you'll see those dashed lines and those boxes around the outside will go away. That means that essentially the graphic now is locked into place and it will not move. If I grab it, if I click on the mouse and grab it, you see my mouse is swirling around, but that notebook looking page is not moving anywhere. Okay? All right. So one of the first things that I need to do that I'm going to be carrying over from my monthly pages is setting up a place for my weekly appointments. Now, there's lots of ways you can do that. In times past, I've used 3 columns and done, one day for each column. Well, in January, let me show you what that looks like. Okay, so here in January, you can see I simply made a small column for each day of the week. That was interesting. I've used that a lot. But for February, I wanted to try something different. So what I have here in my finished page is I have actually 3 columns going across. We're going to talk about that and how I set that up. So back down here at my blank page, what I need to do is I need to go up to my Insert menu, and I am simply going to click somewhere on my page so that I know that my cursor is in the right spot. I'm going to click Insert, and I'm going to go over here to Table, and that's going to show me a drop down, and I can choose how many columns across I want and how many rows down I want. Okay, so I'm going to start with 3 columns today. And you see it creates this little table for me. Now, what I want to do is I am a Monday start person. I'm going to start with my very first one as Monday, and I'm going to leave room there to put the day of the week, the date of the week. And what I can do up here, because this is in a container, I can make this as wide as I want. I could make it the entire width of the page, but I like to go about 2/3 of the way with this section. So that's what I'm going to do. Move him a little bit over here closer to the edge, and I'm going to save myself some room for a title there at the top. Okay? So back to Monday, I can leave a space. Let's say I'm doing this for the first month or the first week of February. So that Monday might be the 30th of January, moving into the month of February. And then I have a place over here for tasks and notes. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to make this cell a little bit bigger, like so. And this column that's here in the middle, I'm going to kind of use that as like a place to check off when things are finished. I don't know. I'm just giving it a try. Remember, my whole thing this year is doing it in bullet journal style and trying different layouts. So this may be something that I start with in the beginning of the month and realize that it's not working for me and change it partway through. That's one of the great things about digital planning. It doesn't have to stay the same week after week or day after day. All right, so let's get back to our planning here. And what I want to do is I usually never have more than 3 appointments, or, that what GTD David Allen calls that hard landscape, those definite things of where you need to be at a specific time. I usually have no more than 3 of those a day. So I'm only going to give myself 3 spaces there. But if I do have a very busy day, I can always come back and add more rows in between. Okay? So I've now gone from the top row. I'm going to go down to the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and at the 5th row, I'm going to type in Tuesday, and that will be the 31st. And Then I'm going to go down 3 more. 1, 2, 3. And you see here I'm at the bottom. Well, what I could do is I simply could hit Tab, and that will give me a place to write Wednesday. And that is February 1st. Okay? Or I could go up here and highlight all of these and go to my menu by right-clicking and say Insert Below, and that will add a bunch more lines below. That's kind of a faster way to do it. Okay, so Wednesday, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll do Thursday, and so on for the rest of the week. Okay, so there we have a simple table that gives me a place to record any appointments that I have, a place to check off things or prioritize things here in the middle column, and then a place to write any other tasks or notes that I may have that I want to share. Okay? Now, it looks to me like on my screen that some of my lines are disappearing. I'm hoping that's not coming through in the screen capture. All right, so when I look back at my criteria, I now have a place for weekly appointments. I can also record any birthdays or anniversaries that are occurring here, a place to record any bills that are due, and looking at the next one, goals and actions, the top 3 focus for the week. All right, let's take a look at the finished one, and I will show you how I created that. So you see here I have a top focus right here with 1, 2, 3 boxes underneath of it, okay? I also have that connected to something called projects, and again, 1, 2, 3 boxes, and a place to record any prayers that I have. So again, 1, 2, 3 boxes, all right? Let me show you how I created that. So you guessed it, it's a table. So I'm going to click on the side here. I'm going to go up to my insert menu, and I'm going to create a table, except this time it only needs to be 1 column, okay? So there is my 1 column table, and I can write top focus, and I can make that a little bit wider to fill that space, a little bit wider to fill that space. I'm going to come down 3, and I'm going to write projects, and I'm going to come down to the bottom and tab, and I'm going to fill in prayers, and 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there is basically that top focus, projects and prayers box. On the finished page, it looks like this. All right, and I'll show you how I do these colors, table shading, on this project, which is really, really easy to do. For me, when I was a paper planner, it was almost equivalent to, taking your highlighter or some washi tape and filling in different sections on your planner to add color or to highlight things. It's the same kind of thing here, except because it is a table, if I move it around, I don't have to worry about the highlighting moving with me. It all stays together, nicely tucked inside that table. So let me show you on this one how to do some table shading. So back down here at my top focus, all you need to do is you need to go to the table, highlight the row that you want shaded, right-click, come down to table, and you see table shading is way down here at the bottom, all right? If I click on table shading, we have all of our regular colors, and you can see down here at the bottom, I have some recent colors that I have been using, okay? I kind of want this to be a gradient look, so I'm gonna go with this soft pink for the top focus, and then I'm going to jump down to the word projects, and I'm gonna highlight that row, and I'm gonna do the same thing, table, shading. If I wanted it to be the same color pink, all I would need to do is click on this shading line right here. But if I want it to be a different color, remember for this one I'm going for that gradient look. So I want this medium pink for here. And then for prayers, I'm going to highlight that, table, shading, and let's go to this dark here. There we go. Okay, so now you can see the table shading adds a lot of color and detail without, any graphics at all. Again, let's take a look at our finished one. And you see that table shading is there. Now, I did table shading also on my weekly appointments. And what I did here is I chose to do green, a light pale green for all of the weekdays. And I chose to do pink for the weekend. All right, I'm going to do that real quick, but I'm going to speed it up. Let's get started. Okay, so now we have that shading done. And let's see, we have our goals and actions, our top 3 focus from the week are done. They are right here, okay? So other things that we want to add to our weekly page is we want to add links to important pages, like our cleaning tasks and that kind of thing, our Google Calendar. Again, let me show you the finished page, and then I'll show you how I did it. Okay, so on my finished page, I have a link here to my Google Calendar, all right? And I also have a link over here to my cleaning zone, my cleaning list for the week, my restocking and my projects list for the week, and my monthly tasks that I do for house cleaning and housekeeping maintenance, that kind of thing, okay? So I want to show you, 2 things. One is I want to show you that you can add a link from outside of OneNote. You can also add links to other pages in OneNote. So let's go down and do our Google Calendar first. So down here in our Works in Progress page, let's see, I need to open up Google. So let me do that. Okay, and here I have my Google Calendar opened. All I need to do is I need to go up here to the top and I need to copy that URL, and then I am done with this page. Back here in OneNote, I can go up to Insert, Link, and it's going to come up with a dialog box, and it says Text to Display, and I can say I want this to be a link to my Google Calendar there. And where it says address, all I need to do here is paste in that address that I got when I was in my Google Calendar. And I can say OK, and that gives me this little tiny text box that says Google Calendar. Now, when I click on that, you'll see that it opens up my Google Calendar and takes me right back where I was. Okay, so that's very handy in case you need to double check an appointment, or maybe you have links to addresses and that kind of thing in there. It's very handy to have that on your page, okay? Links to other important pages, like I said, my cleaning schedule and stuff. Let me show you how to do that. Okay, I want to include a link to my cleaning list. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here on my page, and I'm going to go back up to my Insert menu and click on Link. That's going to bring up the dialog box, and I want to say cleaning list is the text that I want it to display. And then I can go down here, and I know that I created these detailed cleaning lists last year. So I'm going to look in my 2022 Life Planner, and I know that they are in my year-long section. And so if I open up my year-long section, I can scroll down to find my detailed cleaning list. There it is. Okay, so I'll say OK, and that puts the link in there for me. Okay, now if I click on that, it will take me exactly where I need to be to my detailed cleaning list, which I got from, let's see, who is this from? Oh, The Secret Slob. She's a Canadian YouTube person who created this really cute little drawing and plan. She kind of follows the Fly Lady, except she does it her own way, of course. And so that's where this came from. So I like that, and I like the way that it's laid out. So I keep that as my detailed cleaning list. So I have that here, okay? Let's look back at the finished product again, and you can see that actually I created a place where I could write what my cleaning zone was, and then the cleaning list, restocking and projects, and monthly tasks. So let's finish out this table. You see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different things in this table, all right? So I'm gonna come down here and I'm gonna hit Tab, and you see when I hit Tab, it created another table column for me automatically, all right? For this one, I need my restocking list, so let's do that. Okay, now the restocking and projects list, when I click on that, it will take me to a completely different notebook, which is my personal notebook, and it will give me Diane in Denmark's zone cleaning checklist and what she declutters and things that need to be restocked in each room and projects that I know that I want to work on in that particular space. So for example, the current project that I'm working on in the bedroom is I'm replacing the hangers that I have for the shirts that are slinky or that have small straps. I'm replacing those hangers so that my shirts don't keep falling off the hangers, which is driving me crazy. Okay, and the last one that I have up here is my monthly tasks. So I'm going to go to the end here, I'm going to hit the Tab key, and I can do another link for my monthly tasks. And that happens to be in this notebook, in year long. Let's see. Household monthly tasks. There we go. Now in this one, I have basically these are, home tending maintenance kinds of things. So, changing your air filter and, emptying out the mail drawer and, all those kinds of things, just things that I keep track of, dusting the light fixtures and stuff like that. So this is another list that I like to have quick and ready access to. So that's all kind of right here. Okay. All right. So that will be at the top up there. That's the links for the important pages, okay? All right, now a dinner meal plan. Well, let's look at the finished page up here, and you will see that my dinner meal plan, again, is another table, 2 columns this time. So let's create that. Okay, I'm gonna go up here in this blank working space, and I'm just gonna click somewhere on the screen. And I'm going to insert a table, 2 columns, and there are 7 days a week, but I also need one for the header. So there we go. And I can put the day and the meal. All right. I can make this a little bit wider so that I have room to write out the name of the meal. And I can do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All right. Again, I can color this up with some table shading if I want, but that's it. It simply is a table. Then I can go in here, as I'm meal planning, and I can say that we are having chicken pot pie on one night, and we are having roast beef sandwiches on one night. And you see that if you need to have another line, it automatically makes it double lined. But if you want it wider, you can simply grab the container and make this wider. What I like to do is I like to get things that, they kind of fit together. All right, so this one might go here, and let's say we can make this one a little bit bigger if we want and get that to line up a little bit better. Okay, kind of like that. Again, let's peek at the finished one. And you see there that it's just the day of the week and the dinner plan. Okay? All right. Now, this next week's section, you guessed it, it's a table. A 1-column table with some 4 or 5 rows underneath. All right? Easy to create. Let's do it together. Blank space over here. Insert, table, 1 column, 5 rows. Title it next week. Make it wider. Make it wider. Shade that row. Let's see, let's do this one a different color. We'll go with that. And there's our next week's section right down there at the bottom. Okay. Now again, if we want these all to line up, we certainly could do that. We can make this one a little bit narrower and move it over a little bit. We want this one to be a little bit wider. We can do so. You can really customize them to whatever you need for your planner. And that's what I absolutely love. You know, maybe you don't want to do a whole big meal plan. You don't have to include that in your planner if you don't do that. I happen to do that. So for me, it's very handy to have that here. Okay. All right. So let's look over here. Links to important pages. We did that. Dinner meal plan. We did that. Next week, looking ahead. We did that. All right, now weekly to do specific for the week or the routine. All right. Okay, the next thing that I want to talk about is my weekly to do specific for the week or for routines. Let's take a look at what that looks like on the finished page. So you can see right here in this middle section, right to the right of the spiral, I have a 1-column table that is a thing for weekly to-dos. Things that I need to get done that week. And then I also have this little tiny box down here that says home tending, okay? Those are things like going through the house and collecting all the trash and getting it ready for the trash run. Going to through the pantry and the kitchen cabinets and writing down a grocery list so that when I'm ready to go grocery shopping, I have everything I need, all right? Any calls or texts that I need to make, I tend to do those on a specific day. Thursday is my communication day. And so I just kind of like to have a list of things so that I don't forget anything. And I also kind of have this in the Alistair method where I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday going across. And what I normally will do is, like, let's say I am looking at, cleaning the wood floors in the house. If I do that on a Tuesday, I will come over here to Tuesday and simply put a star in that spot under Tuesday so that I know that it was completed. If I go watering the plants, I usually water on Wednesday. So I'll scroll over here to line up with Wednesday and I'll give that a star, meaning it's done. Sometimes I also go in here and highlight these things so that they stand out to me as being done. You can highlight just the task, or you can highlight all the way across to when it was done, and that really helps you know what day that it was done on. Okay, so again, a simple column, 1 column for weekly to-dos, and then this is just a text box. So let me show you how to do both of those really quickly. Okay, so insert, table, 1 column, and to do, what did I call it up here? Weekly goal tasks. Okay, so that's that. And again, table shading makes it prettier. Is it required? No, not at all, but it does look nice. So if you want to do that, that's fine. And then this little text box, all right? So I'm going to come down here again. You can add it to this column. So see how this container here has the little table that I just created? I can also then put the text box right in here if I want, and then it will stay as one. Unlike the one that I did up here, my text box is separate, so I can move it around to different places. And actually, I kind of like that better. I like flexibility with being able to do that. So I'm going to click outside of this container and start a different one. And I will call this weekly tasks. And then I will just do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, okay? And then I can hit return and I can say, all the things that I need to do during that week. So tend my plants, water my plants, wood floors, pick up the mail, trash run, grocery run, which is usually on the same day, by the way, all these things out of the house, dust and vacuum, you get the idea. So all of those things. And then this can go right up underneath if I want it to. So I have my weekly tasks there. Okay. All right, we can make this a little bit bigger so they kind of line up. All right. So that takes care of that, a weekly to-do list, and specific for the week and for my routines, which is right there. Okay. All right. Now the next one is communications. That's any texts I have to do, emails, phone calls, regular mail correspondence, all of that stuff. Again, one column. Let me show you. I can go up here and take this weekly to do. I can highlight that, copy the whole thing, come down here, paste it, change it to communications, and I'm done. It's that simple. I don't have to recreate all of these tables every time. I can simply copy and paste, which I think is great. Errands to buy, same thing. Paste, and it goes from weekly to do to errands to run or my to buy list. Okay, and then I can put that wherever I want. All right, and my CCL task, my Instagram, and my Facebook post. Now let's go up and take a look at that, because that is, again, a table. So I have here the current videos that I'm working on. So my February plan with me's and my 365 book challenge. And all I did here is I listed out all of the steps to making these particular videos. So I have to plan them. I have to film them like I'm doing now. I have to edit them, and then they have to be finally edited by my husband. And then we upload them and I prep them. That means going through and writing the table of contents and all of that, and putting in the iCards and the description and all that stuff. Then I have to schedule when it's going to appear on YouTube as a live video. And once it's released, I need to review it and make sure that it released properly. And I need to write comments and answer any comments from that video. Okay, so those are all the steps, kind of simplified, broken down, that I do to create the YouTube channel. Okay, now down below that, I have a 2-column. Well, this one is 2-column as well, but they're split in half. And below that is the day of the week and the Instagram post. Day of the week and Instagram post looks a lot like meal planner, day of the week, and meal planning, right? So again, copy and paste. Okay, so we can go over here, we can highlight this whole thing, we can copy it, we can come over here to our blank space, we can paste it, and now instead of meal, delete, we can put Instagram and Facebook posts. Okay, so now that's done. Easy enough. And we can paste again up here. Okay, but in this case, I'm going to make this a little bit wider. Take out all this meal stuff because we don't need that. Okay, and in this case, the columns are more in the middle, so that I'm going to size them so that they are about the same size. There you go, okay? And I don't need day of the week, but I do need those steps. The top one I leave blank for the name of the video. Let's take that out. And then down here, I just have the steps. So I have to plan it, I have to film it, I have to edit it, I have to prep it. Let me see my list. Oh, upload it and then prep it. That's right. Right? Got to get it up. Loaded, upload, and then prep, and then schedule, and then release, and then comments. Okay, and so all I need to do then is rewrite them over here. You get the idea. And then I have a space for the title of the video, etc. Okay, so I'm almost done with all of the hard landscaping of this particular page. The last thing that I want is weekly wins and gratitude. And again, I'm just using a table. I'm just going to copy this one, and I'm going to bring it down here, and I'm going to hit paste, and I'm going to change this to weekly wins, because I like to write down all the little things that I accomplish. And I'm going to come down some, and I'm going to type gratitude, because I like to also write about the things that I am grateful for. Okay. All right. So really, if you think about it, let's kind of move this. Maybe I'll put him down here in the middle. If you think about it, I've gone through all of the criteria, all the things that I wanted to include on this page, which is a lot. You know, you wouldn't find too many paper planners that have all of this detailed information with links to click to get you to other lists and that kind of thing. So being able to create this myself is great. Now, if I don't like the way things are grouped or arranged, I simply can rearrange them, okay? If I want, let's say for example, to flip-flop this, maybe I'm somebody who likes to have my schedule over here. I can do that. I can grab this box, I can move it over here, okay? I can put my focus over here. I can take my to-do list and put it here, like so. Communications could go over here. And then I have room to take this one, put it there, and I can grab this box here and move it up there. Okay, so I can kind of get a whole completely different look simply by moving my boxes around. And I think that is absolutely fabulous because, you know, again, you could not do that in a paper planner. Let's say I wanted more room for like photographs and stuff down here at the bottom. Okay, I could simply move these things around, and that would give me this great big space down here to put some photographs or something, some memory keeping for the week. I think that's really terrific. Okay. Now, because I copied and pasted, a lot of these boxes have the same shading color. Well, we know how to fix that, right? You just right click on it, table, shading, and then you can change it to whatever you would like. Let's put a little bit more green in there for communications. That's fine. You can make it look however you want, all right? Now let's take a look at that finished one again, and you will see what I did. I fixed up the table shading. So there's the green and pink. There's the gradient that we talked about. In some of them, like the CCL stuff, I changed the font color to white so that it stands out a little bit more for me. That shows that it's a little different part. That's my work as opposed to my home life. Okay. You know, but other than that, I added a few stickers from my sticker sets that I'm using for this month. And that's really it. You know, again, I have a space here that I can add photos or notes or whatever I want to do in that section. I also added a couple stickers here outside of my page to look like a little, you know, stack of Post-it notes or, you know, something like that. Do I need to have them there? No, I don't need to, but I think they make it enjoyable to come back to my planner every day and play around with. The other thing that I added as part of my decor is this little quote down here in the middle bottom of this page. It says, "Love yourself first, and everything else falls into line." And that's a quote from Lucille Ball, which I thought was really, really nice. Okay. All right. Well, there you have it. That is my weekly layout for February. Will it change? Probably, because I like to move things around. But again, that's one of the reasons that I love using OneNote, because I can move things around really easily. Okay. I just wanted to show you from a blank page to a finished page what you can do and how you can do that. I use a lot of tables because the tables keep everything contained. They keep the color, the highlighting, they keep the text, all of that kind of thing. And it's very easy for me to go in and highlight the entire column or row and delete the things that I don't need for the next week. Okay? All right. Well, thanks for hanging in there with me until the end. Hopefully you have been inspired or learned something new today. If so, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. That really is the best thing that you can do to help this channel grow and thrive. And I certainly do appreciate that. Also, if you'd like to see more of what we do here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You can ring that notification bell if you'd like to be notified when I publish more videos, which is usually every Friday. And I do some Quick Tip Tuesdays for little short tips about OneNote and that kind of thing. Anyway, I just love sharing this information with you guys, and I know lots of you have asked specifically, how do you get your page to look like that? Well, today I showed you how I do it, and hopefully that will help you. Anyway, here's hoping that you can live a more simplified and organized life through better planning. I use OneNote. Until next time, okay, bye.